Yo, I know I look a little bit different. And why is the lighting so fucking horrible? Probably because it's close to dawn. Sorry about the lighting. I'm just using my iPhone camera, you know. Can't really help it too much, but what up? Got a new hairstyle. In the past on this channel, I've shared how to get jacked, how to lose fat, how to gain muscle. Just verbatim, just the basics, and almost like a course on math, teaching you 1 + 1. But now I'm going to tell you a few tips that can truly make you stand apart from the rest, and this will make you build better muscle than 99% of the population. Now, obviously, that number is kind of not fully accurate, but you get the gist. A lot of people, you know, not a lot of people in society go to the gym anyways. But even if we just use like American metrics, probably 10% maybe go to the gym, 30% max. And out of those people, there are some who are actually training in the most optimal way. Now, I'm not talking about optimal as, you know, scientifically optimal. I'm not talking about that type of optimal, although that is also important. What I'm talking about is actual insider tips that are a bit further beyond the starting layer of basic bodybuilding, beyond the few YouTubers you see here and there. The real stuff, the bro science stuff, the stuff that actually works, the stuff that most people won't tell you because they either don't know it or they haven't tried it and they think it doesn't work, okay? So before we move on to that, I did get a new haircut. I got this haircut April 30th today. Now, I have quite a backlog of videos because, like I said in my last video, I keep fucking recording videos but not posting them. So you won't see this beautiful skull until a long time. But hey, this was done on April 30th, just so you know. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into these tips, and this will set you apart, like I said. But other than that, you shouldn't want to compete against other people, anyways. At least not online. Like, obviously, competition's good in person, but online it's just like there's so many edits that people do on their pictures and shit, and Photoshop and whatnot. And so when I say 99% of people, I'm not trying to tell you to compare yourself to, you know, everyone who goes to the gym. I'm just saying that if you do these tips that I tell you in this video, you most likely will make better progress than you were before, and a lot better. So first tip, starting off straight up, not wasting any time, you got to train heavier, okay? Now, a lot of people love to preach the low volume stuff, and there's only one reason why it's even popular, and it's because it reduces risk of injury, right? But some people also have the misconception, because of the old bodybuilders, that higher reps is what builds more muscle. Now, that obviously depends. There is a spectrum where you get diminishing returns after a certain point of reps. So let's pretend there is a binary line of reps or reps you can do in a set, right? On the farthest extreme on this side, it's 1 rep, and on the farthest extreme on that side, it's 1 billion reps, right? Obviously, 1 rep, 1 billion reps, they're gonna fuck you. They're just not gonna do much for you. 1 rep, actually, you might be able to get some strength out of that, some 1 rep maxes, but other than that, the 1 billion reps, obviously, it's not even possible. So where do we say is the correct amount of reps? What determines what is heavy or not? Obviously, it's all personal. It's all, what's it called? It's all person based. You know, it's all subjective. My strength, my heavy might not be your heavy. So where do we draw the line? Well, I'd say when you're doing exercises for all muscles, I think you should at least have one 1 to 3 heavy sets. So for example, 6 to 8 reps or 4 to 6 reps. This rep range, why I recommend it is because through personal experience, first of all, there's been a few times in my life where I've gained way more muscle than the other times in my life. Other times in my life, I usually stagnate around the same or lose muscle or get lazy. But when I really lock in, I still can't really gain that much muscle unless I implement a heavier training style. I don't know if it's because it naturally makes me progressively overload because I keep wanting to increase the weight or not, but whatever it is, when you start doing 6 reps of a bicep curl or 6 reps of, you know, a tricep extension or, you know, 6 reps of anything, okay, a back, chest, whatever, or 8 reps or whatever, very heavy, you know, you get bigger, you get stronger. I don't know what it is. You just get more motivated. I think maybe your testosterone increases or some shit. I don't even know. But the point is, heavy. You got to go pretty heavy. Now, I'm not saying to fully cut out the lightweight stuff, because obviously when you go heavy, you do lower reps and there is slightly more risk of injury. But as long as you properly warm up and your technique is pretty good, you should be fine. But like I said, there is a risk of injury, but that also comes with way less fatigue, so you can do more reps and you can recover faster and you can build more muscle that way as well. So fatigue wise, all that, yeah, I mean, going heavy is very good. Now you got to understand, if I were to put a real reasoning behind this, before that actually, when you do higher reps, you might not get injured as easily, but you are gonna, man, I keep forgetting what I'm saying. I'm seriously retarded today. Today I had a long day, so I'm just fucking retarded today. Fucking cry editing this, I think. But what was I saying? So yeah, reps, right? Heavy, light. So lightweight reps, although they do come with the risk of injury lowered, they also obviously make you a lot more fatigued, so you'll have to rest longer for your muscles to, you know, get back in shape. And the way you build muscle is not by, you know, working out, it's by letting them heal after you work out. So that recovery is very important, and if you over damage them using super high reps, it's going to take you longer to work to heal and recover. It's going to take you longer to build that muscle, and your nervous system, actually your nervous system probably gets used around the same, depending on unless you're going like a full-on heavy-ass 1 to 3 rep exercise. Now that is why I really think the higher weight exercises are more beneficial, because there's just less fatigue, and when there's less fatigue, you recover faster, better, stronger. So yeah, there's a lot of incentive to it. There's also the incentive where if you train stronger, your brain automatically begins to neurologically develop to the heavier weight. So sometimes it's not just about muscle. Like, muscle isn't what always gives you strength. If that was the case, bodybuilders would be way more, you know, stronger than power lifters and etc. You know, once you're doing higher weight, your body gets used to doing higher weight, and just through the brain, just without even your muscles really adapting to it yet, your brain just adapts and starts lifting it, and then your muscles adapt and grow because of that. So there are a lot of things that play and a lot of incentives to do higher weights. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying higher reps. So that would be my main little tip there. I have a lot of tips, but I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna just say the top 3. I should have probably mentioned that earlier. Whoops. Okay, so the second tip: make a habit of drinking 2 protein shakes a day. Okay, that's my second tip. Now it does kind of sound very specific and almost autistic, but you got to realize a lot of people that work out don't realize, kind of just forget that protein is what's needed to build muscle. No matter how much you hit the gym, you will not build muscle if you do not have sufficient protein. And I see a lot of my friends go around, and people I know go around, eat like, you know, their normal daily meals with maybe 30-40 grams of protein, or not even if they eat too unhealthy, and then just start expecting muscle to come. You gotta actually look at your protein and make sure you're eating a lot. Now, I know for a lot of people it is a hassle and it is, you know, troubling for them to track their protein. So you could also just eat a high protein diet in general, but I know some people really are too lazy to do that too. So this tip really is just for the general public in general, because it will work for everyone, even if you're lazy, even if you suck. Okay, it will work for you. 2 protein shakes will ensure that you're getting at least a decent amount of protein in, and you will 100% gain a lot more muscle than before, no matter who you are. Okay, so 2 protein shakes, just get it in your system. All right, protein is very important. Don't neglect it. It's not like you just got to get it in your system. Why 2 specifically and not 1 or 3 or whatever? 2, it's just a good mix. You should drink it, you know, in the morning, get that protein synthesis spike in the morning. Just start, let your body start synthesizing that protein, using it efficiently in the morning. Right after the gym or before dinner is a good option too. All right, so third and final piece of advice is this, okay? You need to stop being a retard before you sleep. So I know a lot of people say get good sleep, but that doesn't mean shit, okay? That's the root problem is not getting enough sleep. But that's like trying to define a circle by using the word circle. Just like you can't tell a person who's struggling with their sleep to just sleep better. That's like someone who's that's like telling someone who's been dealing with acne and who has tried every single, you know, serum and method on the planet to just wash their face or something. Sure, it may sound like, you know, it's coming from a good place, but realistically, no, it's not going to help anyone when you tell them to get some sleep. Now, obviously, sleep is very important for muscle growth and just overall health. But instead of telling you to just sleep, I'm going to tell you a few tips before you sleep to optimize your sleep. Now, sleep, I could make 10 videos just on sleep alone, how to optimize it, why it's so important, but I would just say this for now. There is a doctor called Dr. Huberman on YouTube. You can watch him for free, and he puts out seminars and videos about pretty much the thesis of his research and the summary, to help you and give you tips on your health and well-being. And I guess paraphrasing from what he said, you really shouldn't get a lot of blue light from your phone close to bedtime. Probably 3 to 2 hours before your bedtime, somewhere around dinner. You want to, you know, quickly turn on the warm light, turn off the blue light on your phone, go to the settings, you know, figure it out. I'm sure you can do it. Make sure you're not, you know, falling asleep to your phone. Make sure you're not sleeping with your phone nearby you. When you wake up in the morning, get some sunlight in your eyes so that your circadian rhythm can get used to waking up at this time, so that a few hours later it can start releasing the melanin to make you sleep at the perfect time, to wake up at that perfect time when you looked at the sun. So there's a circadian rhythm that all humans have, and you got to try to make it good. You got to try to match it to what you want. You know, some people's circadian rhythm, how their body works, they start, you know, getting cortisol, which is the awakening hormone, when they're, you know, some people are nocturnal. They start getting it at night because their schedule is so fucked up. And then melatonin, the sleeping hormone, you know, they get it in the daytime or in the afternoon. The best way to manipulate your circadian rhythm is to use the sun. Whenever you're looking at the morning sun, or the sun in general, or especially the morning sun though, your circadian rhythm will slowly adapt to that time of awakening. So definitely take advantage of this. Other tips for sleep: you do not want to eat too close to bed, especially especially like a high protein meal too close to bed. And what I mean by too close is like an hour ish within bedtime. This is just gonna make it hard for you to sleep because your body's gonna be digesting constantly. You know, you're not gonna feel. You're gonna feel You're just not gonna feel good. It's gonna be pretty hard to sleep, especially when your digestion system is trying to work hard digesting all this meat or whatever you've ate, and it's just not smart. You're not gonna fall asleep as easy. Other than that, better ways to sleep. Some people like meditating. Some people like reading. Whatever calms down your brain. Not any like videos or anything like that that you're staring at or something. If you're gonna listen to something, maybe play it in the background. Don't put your headphones in and all that. You know, try to make it as fairly natural as possible. But you gotta really optimize your sleep and not be a retard around sleep, because sleep is bigger than the gym and working out and getting muscles. Without sleep, you know, you're gonna get cancer and die. So you gotta sleep. All right, so those are the 3 tips for this video. If you enjoyed, subscribe. Hey, you know, you got nothing to lose.